Hi everybody, I'm DeLaney Gabriel and I'm a holistic anti-aging practitioner of 36 years, and I'm making this video today on the subject of hormones and dis-ease. Not just disease, but dis-ease. The date is April 9th, 2021. So this video is about hormones and how I've worked as an anti-aging specialist since 1991. One of my absolute biggest concerns about hormones is that people have hormone deficiencies that can affect so many areas of their health and they don't even know it. The decrease in hormones over time is often just so gradual that it's hardly noticeable, but the overall effects are cumulative and can result in a number of health conditions and diseases, including the very three primary conditions that gained my interest in this field, to the extent that I've built an entire career on them since, all the way back to 1988, when I was working with Dr. Gary Gordon at Previta Medical Clinic in Sacramento, and also then through Dr. Gordon met Dr. John Lee, who is known pretty much as the pioneer of progesterone. I hope that you'll check out books on this subject by Dr. Lee because they're just amazing. And I'll have more of this in other videos. So if I can, with all of my knowledge, it's kind of hard to stay focused sometimes because there's so much I would want you to know, but I'll try. So here we go. So for now, the three primary health conditions and diseases, which I consider to be hormonal deficiency diseases, are number one, osteoporosis. Osteopenia would be the early stage of osteoporosis. And then secondly would be heart disease. That would include all kinds of cardiovascular health diseases and conditions. And then number three is neurological conditions, which of course includes dementia and Alzheimer's, which are very serious. And as a hormonal deficiency, they come on really slowly and creep up on you and you don't even know it. Many times people have the feeling sort of in the back of their mind that they're losing their memory, but we just don't want to think that we really have dementia or Alzheimer's because so many people think there's nothing that can be done about it. But I'm here to tell you that for many people, there absolutely is something that can be done about it, and that something or some things are hormones. So, and make no mistake, these conditions affect men also. It's not just about us girls, and that's because hormone deficiencies affect everyone. Let's see. An important note here would be that if you ask your doctor about what I have to say and all this stuff about hormones, your doctor would likely dispute it because they just don't have the information that I have in working with people. And that's not to be critical of them because I certainly don't have the information that they do about their practice, but I know a lot about my practice and how I do it. So maybe the doctors haven't sat through like 27 years of training at the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine like I have. Maybe they haven't studied for 20 years with world-renowned endocrinologist Terry Hertog, who actually is fourth-generation endocrinologist from Belgium. He's in Brussels. And maybe they haven't had 36 years of experience of treating the conditions like I have and helping people improve their lives with bioidentical hormones and certainly with dietary supplements. And when you use the dietary supplements, you want the really good ones that have high quality, come from good companies that have a conscience and so forth, and not some of the bigger companies that are just owned by investment companies, venture capitalists, and are maybe more interested in financial gain than in actually improving people's lives. Who knows? So anyway, that's what I believe. And even if these doctors did my kind of experiences, legally, their medical license and what's known as community standard of practice may not allow them to utilize the natural therapies anyway. Since 1988, I've recommended hormones and various kinds of dietary supplements, including pregnenolone, which is the very top of the hormone chain, and DHEA, dihydroepiandrosterone. I say that word because I would want you to know that hormones are steroids, and the terms steroids and hormones are pretty synonymous. So, but these bioidentical hormones also include progesterone cream and my very favorite form of estrogen, which is estradiol. I use these to replace the essential hormones that decline with age in all of us. I also recommend vitamin D, which is also a hormone and is especially essential for healthy bones and supporting the immune system. With vitamin D, as with all the other hormones, I always want the levels to be at optimal range. And in this season, or these seasons of COVID-19, I like a vitamin D closer to the higher end at most people. And I say at most people because I don't recommend that for everybody across the board, because I don't know you and I don't know what kind of interactions you might have from kidney issues or liver issues and so forth. And while you can have hormone deficiencies, especially with progesterone and estradiol, the other big problem is that you could also have an issue with estrone in being high, and estrone's otherwise known as E1. And what I like, and you may have heard this in other videos if you've listened to them, is that I want the estrone to be 1/2 of what your estradiol is. And if it's more than that, then I consider there could be problems. Some of the problems could include tumors, cysts, fibroids, and actually even cancer in men and women as well. In men, that estrone, when it's high, can play a significant role in prostate cancer. So it's just really important to get those estrone levels down. In my work, to get the estrone levels down, I have several supplements that have been very effective in doing that. And I know that because of blood work. I don't just make crazy claims. One of my favorites is, I have 3 favorites in my private label that I use to do that. One of them is called dim and curcumin. And it's probably my favorite because based on lab test results, it helps to lower the estrone and it also works to lower inflammation. And just as a side note, inflammation is the leading cause of death pretty much no matter what conditions you have or what conditions a person has, even in accidents. It's the inflammation that becomes such an issue, and people develop sepsis and so forth and just don't recover. The second important supplement for lowering the estrone is called calcium deglucarate. It's also known as an aromatase inhibitor and has gained such popularity that medical doctors, even oncologists, sometimes recommend that in lieu of tamoxifen, which is also known as an aromatase inhibitor. The deal is, though, that as far as I know, and in all my years of practice, there are no side effects to calcium deglucarate, whereas tamoxifen, side effects definitely are a possibility. Then the third supplement that I use to lower estrone is called DIM, which is diindolylmethane. That sounds kind of bad when you say methane, but it's actually a great supplement that comes from cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower. Sometimes I use all 3 of those. Just depends on who I'm treating and what I'm treating. And then, of course, anytime you're dealing with hormones, thyroid is always an issue that needs to be dealt with. because the function of the thyroid gland is just so important to overall health. And I have done some videos on that, and more videos will definitely be coming about thyroid, because I think it's one of the most undertreated conditions of health. So in my practice, I base treatment recommendations on very comprehensive lab test results. And I'm looking for the optimal reference numbers on every single test, not just the typical reference ranges that exist when you look at your test result page. The lab tests that I recommend typically exceed what, well, typically or almost always exceed what most doctors order. And that's one of the biggest challenges that I have in helping people, quite frankly. But when given the opportunity, I always prefer that your doctor be engaged with our work and orders the tests for you. But like I said, it's just really important to me that everyone know that you have options. Options. Now, I'll be doing many videos on each of these subjects, and I really hope somehow that they touch your lives and move you in a way that to help you prevent and even reverse disease and improve your health conditions and improve your quality of life too. So I really hope the big takeaway from watching this video is that you know that you have options for improving your health, and you don't have to settle for the limitations of medicine. I invite you to visit my website at DeLaneyGabriel.com and check out many of the dietary supplements that I utilize in my practice. Not all of them are on there, but most of them are. And I especially hope you'll check out my private label supplements. I love them. I'm so proud of them. I'm so happy about how they've helped people improve their quality of life. A lot of the supplements that I use go back even to the mid-'80s when I started my practice. And then, of course, some of them are newer. Anything else? Well, for now, I know this video is getting long. I'll just sincerely hope that this video has been informative and helpful, and that it can help not only you, but if you'll pass it on to those you love and tell your friends. So in closing, I just wish you all great rewards for all you do to improve your health now and certainly in the future. So thank you for watching. And again, I hope you'll check out my videos on YouTube at DeLaney Gabriel. And then my website, the address is DeLaneyGabriel.com. Thank you again, and bye for now. Hi again, everybody. It's April 21st, and I'm making this add-on video today because I was just really disappointed in myself from not giving you some information about key hormones and dietary supplements that I use in my practice to treat the 3 primary health concerns that I just talked about in the video that you just watched. My primary goal for making videos is to share my 36 years experience and my knowledge with you, so you will have the opportunity to learn some holistic kinds of options for improving your health. And I know that oftentimes people don't even know that these options exist, and because I'm all about knowing my options, I want to offer some help, self-help options to you. So I was pretty excited on Friday when Madison let me know, she's my assistant, and she let me know that she could add a video on to another video. So here we go. And my message for you today is that there really are some awesome and effective supplements that I utilize in my practice to help people improve their quality of life, reduce symptoms, and possibly even overcome some health conditions. And I know that based on 36 years of analyzing lab tests, which is something I specialize in, and lots of retesting to monitor symptoms and health conditions. So that's pretty much where I get my confidence about the work that I do. And I just have to tell you that when I started adding progesterone cream for my clients in 1989, that made a huge improvement in treating all three of those primary health conditions that I told you I'm so concerned about. And as a little reminder, it's about osteoporosis and bone loss, heart disease, cardiovascular disease, and neurological kinds of symptoms like or memory loss and dementia, that kind of thing. So, and then when I added bioidentical estrogens for many of the women in my practice, their results even got better. So again, this has been verified over many years of treatment, and not just by clients telling me they feel better, because I know that people can feel better for so many different reasons. You know, you get some good news, sun shining, that sort of thing. But I'm looking for results that are really, really real. And that's why I rely so heavily in my practice on lab tests. So, you know what? While I was going to show you some of my favorite dietary supplements that I've pulled off my shelf, it's just, this video I know is running really long. So I'm going to be quick though. I just want to show you this. And then what I'll do later is I'll do some specific videos about each subject and give you some recommendations about the supplements I use, and might even go so far as to give you some kind of dosage recommendations. So one of the things I love for cardiovascular disease, energy, that kind of thing, is nitric oxide aminos. So remember that. And I love fish oil for so many different health reasons. So I have this one in the gel caps, and I have this in the liquid. And the taste actually is really good, and I think maybe one person or two people have said they burp it, but that's really good over the years. Good track record. And then this is my favorite brand of, or kind of, magnesium. I don't like the citrates and carbonates that most of the times are recommended. I like the one that is better for cardiovascular health. And then for bones and immune system, I love this vitamin D3. I like a 5,000 milligram. I also have it in a 2,000. I said milligram, I meant international units. So things are being converted to milligrams these days, however. So I have that in a 5,000 and a 2,000. And then I also have these little vitamin D3 drops that are 1,200 international units. For vegetarians or blood type A people, I typically like this bone support that is more suited for, I believe, for blood type A, whereas for blood type O people and growing bone and maintaining it, I like this MCHC, which is, I won't even go into pronouncing it. It won't mean much to you. I showed you that. And then I love this brand of Testol. Most of these other things are all in my private label, but this testosterone I've found to have great value for muscle, libido. That's not why I'm in this practice, but certainly having a libido and giving a good feeling of energy, strength, endurance. That's always nice. What else did I pull out here? Oh yeah, pregnenolone, and its kid, sister or brother here, counterpart DHEA. I've often said, you show me somebody with Alzheimer's disease and I'll show you somebody who is low in pregnenolone. So when you think of pregnenolone, think of the brain, think of memory, those kinds of things. And then DHEA. DHEA in my industry is known as the fountain of youth, because when people have kind of exhausted themselves and their adrenals, then the DHEA is typically depleted. You can do the blood test to see if, you know, how that works. And this one is a 25 milligram. And again, on some later videos to follow, I'll go over some dosages for you. Another thing that's really important for memory and for energy is this vitamin B12. It's a 5 milligram sublingual tablet. Love that one. I think those are the majority. I've got a dozen other things over here. Oh, you know what? Something that, gosh, is so important for everybody has to do with digestion. So one of the things I like is this hydrochloric acid, because most people, by the time they're mid-40s, they just quit breaking or producing the hydrochloric acid and the acids that they need in the stomach to break down their food. So that makes them more susceptible to osteoporosis, heart disease, and memory loss. So you really must digest your food, and you must have great elimination. Another couple of products that I love for digestion, one is digestive enzymes, and that I typically use for blood type A, maybe some blood type B people who have a healthful diet. But if you're blood type O and you're eating meat and you're over 40, then the Digest Aid would be the one that I recommend. So anyway, like I said, I'll do more on those different supplements and on these different topics of healthcare. So I know I want to get through this video, and definitely appreciate you watching it. So again, I know that these things work, and I know that over the years, so many people have said, oh, I've tried that before. I've tried vitamin D, or I tried pregnenolone or whatever, and it didn't work. Well, the reason that I know that these work is the quality is there. The supplements that I have in my private label or anything, anywhere on my website, it's all sold only to doctors or to health practitioners that are bona fide and qualified and certified and things like I am. So they're not things that you would find generally at the health food store, unless there's a qualified nutritionist or somebody on staff who would then be able to have those there. So before I go, I do want you to know the difference in quality. So even if you've tried some similar things before, please don't give up. And well, in closing, I'll just invite you all to visit my website at DeLaneyGabriel.com and to check out my YouTube videos as well. And I sincerely wish you all the very best in achieving your health goals. So long for now, and I hope to be able to provide some information that would really, really help you improve your health. Bye-bye.